talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking. Nope. I'm not talking unless y'all give me likes. You're commenting and you're subscribing. You hear me? Oh, okay. Well. Hey, JamiThatsMe here. I'm back. We are back to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. I want to get into Kandi Burruss, things that she's had to say about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got to touch on Miss Porsha Williams because Porsha has come out and spoke out when it comes to Drew and Shamea. We have to talk about that. But before we get into it, y'all know we got to start this thing off with Real Housewives of Potomac, Miss Mia Thornton, because Mia went and did an interview with her boo, Ink. Now, remember how Gizelle said during the reunion of Real Housewives of Potomac that Ink and this woman was not broken up. And now I'm starting to believe that Gizelle was not lying. Okay. I felt like they could have potentially been broken up, and that's likely why. Well, not potentially. First of all, Mia came out with a statement letting everybody know that she and Ink are no more, which is why Andy said, "What happened? I thought that you said Ink was permanent." Hilarious. Okay. So I figured maybe that's why, she was so emotional and things. And now that I see that she's doing this interview with Ink, it does make me think a bit that Mia, you really could not handle the fire of what the ladies were giving. And they really weren't giving a whole lot of fire. What they were doing was just pretty much bringing to you the things that you've said throughout the season. And you just felt the way about it. And one way for you to get out of the kitchen was for you to pretty much cry about it. And that's what ended up happening. Okay. You didn't want to have to answer for your BS. And, that sucks. Now we fast forward. You're over there on Ink's show or podcast or whatever else he's working on. And you're talking about Potomac and different things. And one thing that Mia does go on to say is that, and here's the other thing now. First of all, Gizelle called out the fact that Mia was living in Atlanta. And she's like, no, I live in Potomac, right? And then next thing you know, she puts out a tweet saying that, hey, this Sweet 16 premiere has me wanting to move to ATL full time. Girl, I personally don't think that Mia would be able to last at all in Real Housewives of Atlanta land. I just don't think that Mia would be able to compete with those ladies. If you thought that I just don't think she'll be able to handle these ladies, especially looking at how she handled the previous the reunion. When she walked off, she stormed off. You try to cry your way out of things. Listen, I'm gonna tell you now, what works for Porsha Williams, I don't think it'll necessarily work for you, Mia Thornton. I don't. I think Porsha may be able to cry her way out a little piece with some of her fans or in the middle fans. I think I may be an in the middle fan. Because I used to love me some Porsha down. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm in the middle right now. Because I be wanting to see her side and sometimes I might. So I don't dislike her. I think I'm in the middle. Okay. But aside from that, all right, what may work for Porsha, I don't think it'll necessarily work for you. And I just don't think Mia would be a good fit for the show. Some part of me is like, I kind of want to see it. Prove me wrong. I want to see it. Or prove me right. I want to see it, but then at the same time, I'm like, you don't deserve that. The way that you have carried on in Housewives land, I don't even know if you deserve that. But hey, let me say this, because I know somebody ready to say it before I can, down in the comments. Hell, Phaedra has done her share of things as well, and she was able to diddy bop on over to a whole nother show. Damn near franchise if they would have gave the opportunities to last when they had Married to Medicine down there in Texas and Married to Medicine over there in California. Y'all didn't even try and give them an opportunity. For real, for real. I think it should have been more than 3 seasons. But aside from that, Phaedra was able to diddy bop all throughout Bravo. Right? So you may be feeling like, hey, at least I ain't put no rumors out there about somebody. All I did was clock a bitch in the head with a purse and threw some drink on her ass. All I did was break some glass because I didn't like what I had to say to me. Okay, so much so I ran up on it like Gizelle ready to get on her SHI. And instead, I don't have any more of that rah. I just, cry my way out of things. Is that so bad? Maybe that's how you're feeling. And also feeling like maybe that's a way for you to slide on over into another franchise. But I think you're okay with where you are. I do. But I do want us to hear what it is that Mia had to say. So first of all, I have to shout out the Bravo Shade Room. And I also want to shout out Kandi Burruss' fan page over on the Instagram, because we're also going to get into some things over there as well. So let us hop right on into it and let us hear what Miss Mia had to say for herself.
They were showing ATL, the way the girls were showing up. They look good. You know, I just felt like they liked each other. They looked like they were real friends. I'm like, I'm going to be a part of the real friend crew. You know what I mean?
Not
and they
real
a little
friends.
shady. Well, you know, I was catching the shade.
BITCH. You're talking about the premiere. My thing is, what part of the premiere made you think that they were giving real friends when damn near half the cast is brand new? What part made you get? What are you talking about, Mia? You just saying stuff, huh?
But it was cute shade, like real girlfriend shade, right? I was like, all right, you know, my kind of girls. They're bossy, they're mothers, they're business owners. You know, there's no cattiness, no jealousy, except for,
Mia, love, what show were you watching? What do you mean there's no cattiness? Girl, we've had full-on fights. Okay? Porsha and Cynthia acting like good friends now, I suppose, after she got kicked in a cootie twat by Porsha. Porsha able to sit down with Kenya after she kept putting that scepter in Porsha's face. Porsha drug her to the ground. Like, man, what show have you been watching that they look like they're real friends and everything's going great and they're bosses and they're this and that? Anyway.
some aunties bullshit. Okay, but you know, I feel like no shit. Let me not talk about my girl, but it's my kind of crew. You know what I mean? Like the elevation of it all, the
Not
glitz,
elevation.
the glam, the aesthetics, the pull-ups, the cars, the houses. Yes, sign me up. You know, and that's where it came from. Like I had watched the premiere.
Mia's a scammer. Like I just, girl, that's the life that you, girl.
I was like, all right, I love ATL, always have. You know what I mean? I love being down here with you. I love the city. I love the food. I love the people. Like
That's the answer. She said, I love being down here with you. It's more so about ink.
ATL shows so much love, and it's like it's so artsy here. Like they're creatives. Like back home in DC is real political. Y'all know I don't do politics. Okay, keep me out of that circle, right? Art and entertainment, that I can do. Okay.
Do you have a connection with any of the housewives on the cast of this season?
Of Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were with me. You know, we saw Porsha and Cynthia down in Miami and loved them to death. Marlo, she ran into me in DC at home. Remember, she rolled in. We ran into Sonya at the Dream game. Drew has reached out a couple times, wanted to chat. Let's see, Kelly's from Baltimore. I haven't met her, but we got that Baltimore connection. So yeah, there's a lot of, who am I missing? I don't want to miss, Kenya. Spent time with Kenya out in Vegas, which was so cool. We ran into each other in the spa, she actually asked about you in the spa. And I had shades on in my spa robe. And she was like, Mia. I was trying to hide in the spa. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of synergy there. And my girl Porsha, she shows so much love, always has. Like when I hit the scene, she was like, girl, yes. You know, and I love her energy. She's fine. They were showing ATL, the way the girls were showing up.
All right, so those are the reasons as to why Miss Mia thinks she would be a great fit to slide on over to ATL. Y'all let me know your thoughts about that. Can you see Mia in ATL? Are you willing to give her a chance if Bravo gave her a chance to, come down to ATL? I do feel like if she were, I don't see it being full time. It would definitely be giving part time because I don't know, these girls are doing fairly okay so far. They might have their crew already. The only person they need to upgrade would be Miss Kenya Moore. But aside from that, I think they got their crew. But y'all leave y'all thoughts. I feel like the only position that could potentially be open for the taking would be Angela Oakley. Potentially. But we still have more to see from her. But leave your thoughts on that. Next up, I want to slide over to more of what Miss Mia had to say because she talks about busting Gizelle's ass. It's okay because she didn't like some things. She didn't like the energy. She didn't like what Gizelle was giving off. So let's get into that.
Personally commend you on your growth.
Thank you.
And a lot of people like to try to keep you in a place where they met you at or think that you're still at. But
yes.
When I bring this up, I'm only using it as a reference. Mm-hmm. So for knowing you 20 plus years in any other type of situation,
I was about to knock the brakes off of her head, right? You know that, right? We've seen that happen.
Allegedly.
So when the growth was to exit.
Yes.
And let's be real. Okay, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
And I'm a name drop. Gizelle knows daggone well that she would not speak to me that way if there was no security and not the platform. She would get her head knocked off by anybody talking to anybody that way. So the fact that I got up and I was being the bigger woman and I exit left, that let's just be real. Like,
I don't know if that was really being the bigger woman, in all honesty, because the way that you exited Mia, it kind of seemed like you wanted a bit of sympathy. You wanted the ladies to kind of like ease back. You felt like they were talking about your kids when they more so were talking about you as a mom and your parenting. Yeah, and some part of me feels like, I don't know, y'all let me know if you agree with Mia, but I don't know. Some part of me feels like what we see with Gizelle is what you get. Just a little piece. I feel like what you see is what you get, just a little bit. I don't even know if she's really putting on for the cameras. I feel like she didn't say anything that was that bad for her to not be able to say that to your face if security was not there. But I don't know, because Gizelle has had security before. So maybe Mia is right. Maybe Gizelle wouldn't say that to her. But I will say that Mia has had a closer relationship with Gizelle than any of us. All we've really seen was the television show. So maybe she knows how Gizelle would and would not operate, beyond the cameras and the security.
who's being real here? She's like, you're not out here talking to people like that. You're being a fake. You're phony. You're doing it because of what's going around. So, and I don't know how to do fake. I don't know how to do phony.
What?
I keep it real.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be real honest with you, Mia. And not you keep it real, but you just tried to label your husband as somebody that groomed you when I thought you was in a full-on marriage during the time frame that you tried to say he was grooming you at the age that you were, but you do real. You know what it's giving? The lady from Martin, Monique, okay? Because I know I brought that up a few times when I had to highlight the Monique from Potomac, okay? And the Monique on Martin shows because I'm real. I'm real because I'm real, or whatever she said. And the whole time it was giving fake. Yikey, zikey. But okay, girl.
Right? And I would have really knocked her head off. Okay? So I had to leave. Let's be real.
Personally commend you on your growth.
Thank you.
And, a lot of people like to try to keep you in a place where they...
So Mia feels like her growth was her getting up, walking out, and not getting into anything further with Gizelle or any of the ladies. But y'all let me know if you felt like Mia has shown us growth. That's not growth to me. That's just let me get the hell out of the kitchen because it's a little too hot right now. And I'm not going to be able to take it. All right, let me go ahead and go. Escaping accountability. That's what it was given to me. But okay, girl. All right, whatever you think. Congratulations and good luck. All right. Let us go ahead and keep going because there is more. Like I said, I wanted to get into what Miss Kandi Burruss had to say when she talked about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she got into a few things. All right. First of all, she did highlight the fact that her and Ty have like a deal, a production deal. I believe it's with NBC Universal or something of that sort. So I think that's really dope. So she's going to be continuing to keep her hands busy. All right, in other areas of entertainment. I do believe she still has, I think she was doing Othello, is that how you say it? On Broadway. So Candi's working on a few things, all right? So good for her for staying busy. And I do believe that if ever she wanted to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I do think that she can. I feel like the only thing that would withhold Kandi from returning would be the money. Because Miss Ma'am not finna go back for no little ching chong change. Like, just a little piece of change. She's not finna go back for like a little. No. You're going to have to really give her some coins. So that, it's like, why would we have you back if we can get these other girls that's going to act the fool for it less? Potentially. So, yeah, but let us go ahead and hop on over here. All right, on Kandi Burruss fan page. And let us check out some things that Kandi had to say.
Hey, Kandi, I think that Drew is dirty, although Porsha get what she deserved versus watch your man dirty? With both. Ooh.
That is a ooh. Watch your man when it comes to Drew? Really? How? How can y'all put that on y'all? And some people may feel the same, okay? Leave it in the comments because I don't feel like Drew has done anything to where a person needs to watch their man. If she was messing with Ty, okay, Ty is Mimi Faust's ex, okay? She identifies, from my understanding, as a woman. And Ty was single at the time, from what I understand, even though Mimi Faust tried to say that she wasn't. I don't know. I feel like Mimi was coming out on some being a sour puss just a little bit, okay? But aside from that, like, I mean, Ralph was out there going to Tampa. If Drew did do something with Ty, I don't give a damn because Ralph, you was going down there to Tampa and ain't no telling where else she was going. Leaving the damn house, but watching them on the cameras. Controlling. Absolutely not. I disagree. I don't support it. But at the end of the day, Ty was single. If that happened, and we haven't even gotten true confirmation of that just yet. So wait. Girl, wait. But Porsha, okay.
I didn't watch last night's episode. I did see like the first scene because I was trying to, watch a little bit because I know people are going to be asking me what I think. But once again, I didn't necessarily watch it, but I was hearing about everything because, I got friends that's on the show, so I kind of already knew what happened with the whole Drew situation.
Kandi, they dropped so many damn sneak peeks, baby, that you don't even have to worry about watching the show. When I tell y'all, and yes, I'm going to interject here because I just need to say this real quick. Let me, so over here on the Bravo Shade Room, right? And it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the network. Why are y'all dropping? So this is 1, okay, here. This is 2, here. This is 3, here. And this is 4. Y'all done dropped 4 sneak peeks to this show. 4 of them. And y'all did this the previous. And I'm like, why are y'all dropping so many, sneak peeks? It's like, if we gonna watch it, we gonna watch it, or we not gonna watch it, or we gonna watch it when we feel like watching it. But why are y'all dropping so many sneak peeks? I don't know if that may have taken away from last week's episode or what, but it's like, can y'all chill on the sneak peeks? Because we damn near know it's no surprise to it. Can we just watch and see? I know y'all are trying to pull in the viewers and stuff. You're trying to get us in, trying to get us to watch it and stuff, but geez Louise, 1 sneak peek, maybe even 2 is okay. Okay, I feel like we about to get even more sick because today's what? Okay, so by Saturday, I think it's gonna be another sneak peek. We already got 4. I think it's gonna be a 5th one that's gonna drop. It's like it's too much. We done damn near watched the whole episode through the sneak peeks. It's just I can't. But anywho, let's get back, all right, and focus on Miss Kandi Burruss and hear exactly what she had to say.
I think 2 things can be true. I think that, I get some people like, I know Porsha ain't talking good. She took somebody's man before. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is true. But at the same time, it's also true that you can still be offended that somebody that I'm friends with, somebody that I've hired to do campaigns for my product line and all that is kind of like sneaking around with my baby daddy. Like, that also is a no-no. So
I don't agree.
Could it be pot meets kettle?
Yes.
Possibly. But, it doesn't change the fact that it don't matter what she's done, she can still be angry about what's happening in this situation. Does that make sense?
I mean, I think it does. I think it does make sense because she's human. She's going to feel, or whatever the case is. All right, like, that's just what it is, okay? And then I feel like with Porsha, she feels like I was closer to you, checking on you, making sure you're good or whatever, giving you opportunity, hiring you to work for me, whatever the case is, than I was with Fallon. Yes, I was forming a friendship with Fallon. Yes, I was hanging out with her a lot. Yes, I was all at her house, in her closet, met her husband, all of that. And we were, starting a friendship. We were at the beginning or whatever the case was, right? Or however many months or year into the friendship they were in it. But with you, you're different, right? So I could see why Porsha may feel that way, but at the same time, I just feel like if you feel like it's an issue for a friend to work with your baby daddy, that means to me that you do not, I don't even know if it's so much as you don't trust your friend, because you probably don't. And then if you don't trust them, why you friends with them? That's 1. But then 2, you don't trust that baby daddy. And it's more so you coming from a place of you thinking that they gonna be hunching on each other when they're telling you that it's just business. Drew is so right. I do believe Drew when she says, I'm still working through my divorce. I got too much going on to be worried about Porsha and Dennis. However, there's a possibility that Porsha could be vindicated, in my opinion, if things are shown throughout the season to make us believe as the viewers that Drew is getting much closer to Dennis than what she's saying. Right? Then we may see it from Porsha's side. But in this moment, no, I don't see it from her side. I feel like you cannot control who your baby daddy does work with. And if it's going to feed your friend and their family, why is it an issue for them to work together? Including filming on the same show that you're on. Because if the roles were reversed and it was Porsha in this situation working with Dennis's good friend or whatever, and they doing the show, I would not give not one damn like I don't now. And I'll be telling Dennis the same thing. Why are you trying to control Porsha and who the hell she works with? So what? She's supposed to be your storyline, and she also working with this other guy. Now what? It is what it is. Okay? And the sad part is that I feel like a lot of Porsha fans would feel the same way, but because it's Porsha versus Drew, of course they're going to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be team Porsha. But if you put this situation in the opposite direction, then come on now. It go both ways in my personal. To me, I don't think that she can control it, just like I don't think he can control it. Now, if you want to feel a way, you have a right to feel how you feel. But you cannot control what they choose to do. That's just where we at with it.
That makes sense, right?
The question is, people can't figure out, did she ask her, did she not? Because everybody has said different things.
Wait, did you say, did she ask her what?
Well, one scene is, she said, Drew told me. One scene is, she did.
Oh, okay, so that's the part. I didn't get the part. I didn't see that yet. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that part in the episode yet. So Jami said that the part that's the question is, in one scene, Porsha says that Porsha says that Drew did tell her, but then in the other scene, she's acted like she didn't know. So it's confusing. You know me. That's
did.
why I always felt like on that show, you got to keep your facts and receipts, honey. Hey, Kandi, I think that Drew is...
All right, so that's that. But let us get on to the next one here to see what Kandi says.
I love how you support your friends. Can you give us your opinion on why Porsha hasn't supported Shamea's new song like everyone else on her page? She hasn't?
No, she hasn't. And I think, I don't know, but I know for a fact, well, I'm going to say this. I do know that Porsha did not post it. But what I was thinking in my head was, I don't know what other content creators talked about it. But I know in my video, I did highlight that when we did like a Shamea segment. And we saw her song Never Had. And I said, Porsha she hasn't reposted anything yet. And I said, Kandi has posted it quicker and before Miss Porsha did. So what's really going on? And then I saw Toya, Rushing, Regine's mom. Yeah, she posted it. All right. So a few other people posted it on behalf of Shamea, but we never saw Miss Porsha post it. Porsha was over there celebrating Pilar's birthday, having a good old time with her daughter. Okay. So yeah, they are not friends, but I already knew that. I knew that a year ago that they weren't really cool like that. And as you watch the season, it seems like to me the energy that both of the ladies have, it seems like they weren't cool right before filming. But Shamea still has, I guess, a bit of loyalty, a bit of courtesy when it comes to Porsha to let her know, hey, they hit me up. I'm going to be filming with you or this, that, and the other. So for Shamea, when she did this interview with Kandi, she said something like, I didn't know how Porsha would feel, when I first, got the call or whatever the case is. And I'm like, she should feel excited. Like, why would she feel away? And now that I'm looking back at it, I feel like y'all weren't really close or y'all weren't really cool at the time when you did get the opportunity. At least that's what I think. All right. I think that it was a bit, to me, I think that they were cool, but I don't think they were strong like they used to be. Something must have happened, and I don't know what it is. And it could be Porsha distancing herself because of what all she's going through with her husband and knowing that Shamea has all of the lavish things that they're about to lean into, and she doesn't have that. So her position within the show could be, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I don't know. But I think they've been on the outs for some time.
You saying on her show or in her story? Did she post it in her story?
Nothing.
Okay, what I think.
Toya's show clip.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
He's so stupid.
What I think is that they had some issues during the season, and they really don't mess with each other like that right now. But they doing the fake. I'm messing with, like, if they're in the same room or in front of the cameras, or if they or people are doing press, they're like, oh yeah, that's my girl, blah blah, knowing they ain't messing with each other right now.
That's a fact.
Yes.
So then post it if we faking it.
Well,
Do you make it?
yeah, I guess she ain't gonna fake it that much. It's crazy being on a show together. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, because it's weird, because you're not supposed to give away
the show,
any future dramas that's happening in the season. You are told not to give away the season.
Now, I will say, I'm glad you said that, Kandi, because I watched the interview that Shamea did, and I think it may have been with E.T. And when she did that interview, she kind of gave a little bit more than what I was expecting her to give, which was saying that Edie said some things about her child, so she don't really with her like that. I figured she was going to. When Shamea was doing that interview, I feel like she was giving us a little too much. Either that or, well, I watched a few different interviews. She did one with Angela Yee. She did one with Kandi. She did one with E.T. And then there was another interview. I think it was the one she did with the makeup artist, Tay. And I'm like, Shamea, are we supposed to be knowing this stuff? You know what I'm saying? But again, she's new to this, so she's learning. Not new to the Housewives franchise, but in that particular role and having to go out and do press and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna tap her on her shoulder, like, hey, scale that back just a little bit, okay? But hell, if that is the case, don't be getting mad at Shamea too much. You know why? Because you guys keep dropping these fucking sneak peeks, giving away the damn episode before the episode even airs. Okay? So calm down. But anywho, I got off just a little bit, but let's keep going.
Correct. You know that. So it's kind of their job to allow people to believe what they want until they see whatever falling outs or whatever happens during the season. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I do not ask. If I see Porsha, I don't ask her about the show or the drama that's happening, because especially when it comes to Shamea, because I know that's like a weird thing, you know, that was her friend first and then she became my friend. So I don't even bring that up because I don't want to be in the midst
I understand
I wasn't even there.
For sure.
I don't want to be in the middle of that.
I get it.
So I don't ask them questions about what's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, if a blind man can see that it's something happening, but you just don't want to be in the middle of it or have an opinion on the drama. You know what I mean? So I don't ask that. I just try to have a good time. Like, the moments I see them, it's normally when we with our other friends, and I always try to make it a fun moment. I love how you support your friends. Can you give us your opinion?
So there's that. All right. I think Kandi kept it a bit too real. Okay. I think she kept it a bit too real. They don't really F with each other like that, but they're pretending, playing in people's faces and stuff. And I don't really fault them for doing that. And I feel like not only are they doing that to not like give away the season, but I feel like they're doing that because they still have love for each other and they're still hopeful that they could potentially come back together. And if you really love and care about a person, your friend, as you say you do, I do think that you want to be mindful and careful about how you handle things during your downtime. Because sometimes, that could really take a turn for the worse, and then y'all just will be on the outs completely, and there's no more friendship ever. Like, we're done, we're good. So I do understand why they are doing it. If they do have friction, which is not if, we are going to see it as the season plays out. I wasn't rooting for this at all, but being that it is going to happen, it's inevitable. I do hope that we get to see how they are going to come back together, and how once you have a conversation with your friend expressing to them what they may have done that you were not fond of, what you didn't like or whatever, I would also like to see that changed behavior, and maybe they could use this as an opportunity to really show some people, this is how you do it. Okay, you could fall out and you can come back together even stronger, potentially. Okay, depending upon what the fallout is all about. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes when friends are going through stuff, they get in their head and they start internalizing stuff and thinking that when you doing stuff, it's about them. And sometimes you ain't even think about that. You got your own issues that you may not have shared with them about. So this also could be one of those things. Maybe Porsha could feel like Shamea's not showing up for her as much as or as much as she could have, considering the fact that she's been going through this divorce. But I feel like, I don't know, but it's like she's showing up for you a lot. I would like to see the same in return. But I don't know how it's going to play out. That's just my assumption, okay? We don't know, but a lot of us are, questioning, assuming, thinking, wondering. So we'll find out as the season continues to progress, and we are going to get into what Miss Porsha had to say regarding that friendship with she and Shamea in just a second. But there's more that Miss Kandi Burruss gets into, and I want us to check more of that out.
I think, am I watching? So to answer the am I watching question, I am trying to watch right now. So the first episode, definitely watch. I'm really close friends with Shamea. So Shamea came over to the office the week, like prior to the episode airing, and she came to show me. So me and Todd, we watched it with her here. Aww. And I thought it was good. I love that Shamea is being shown as the queen of the show. Okay?
Here.
I really love... I've been trying to tell them they need to bring her on for many, many years now. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that she's finally a peach holder, because I've been saying to them that she would be great on the show. So it's good to see that it's finally happening. And because I feel like she got the personality, she's got a lot going on, she has a big family, obviously she has money, honey. So she has, to me, like the qualities of a person who would make a good housewife. I
feel she has the qualities of Kandi, in my personal, just a bit, okay? But we know Kandi is a hustler. I haven't fully seen that part of Shamea yet, as far as starting your own businesses. But what I love about Shamea is not only, like I said, she's a very, I guess you say around the way girl. Like she just, like, what she has, she don't let it get to her head. And I feel that same way about Kandi. Like, I feel like Kandi's rich. She has a lot of money coming in and stuff. She got a lot going for herself. But I don't feel like Kandi thinks that she's bigger than, like, from the times that I've met her, like, she just really, I don't fan out either. Like when I first met Kandi, I was like, oh my God, like it was just like, what's up, and she's a human, okay? They both are. And I love that Shamea is able to still have all the greatness that she has with her money and all of that. Her husband's, got all this money, they got this huge house, all of that. But she's still over there hosting, different events as far as I believe it's the Atlanta Hawks and stuff. So she still does other gigs. Like, she can really lay back and kick her fucking feet up if she wants to, but she doesn't. She's just out here just being a normal person. Despite what she got going on, she's still Shamea. And I feel like she didn't let the wealth that they have change her at all. And I don't know, I love that. I love the down to earth of it all. Absolutely. I like her personality too, and how quirky she can be. Like, I love that she kind of, be running her mouth a little bit. I don't like how they played my girl, because y'all act like she was giving like a dramatic monologue like Quad do. Sometimes I be here for Quad monologues, okay? Sometimes, all right? Sometimes I be like, Quad, not girl, okay? Girl, now you giving us too much here. But aside from that, like, I think Shamea is cool, and I'm excited to see her journey. And I think what I like the most is the journey with her daughter. I want to see that. I want to see people see how her friends show up, how they support her or whatnot. I love the fact that she had that sit down with Shadina and they talked about some things. For a lot of people that have to go through IVF, a lot of people that have to go through, the surrogacy process and stuff. So I like that she's exposing that part of her life as well. Like, girl, I feel like for me at this moment, I do feel like Miss Shamea got it going on, baby. To me. And y'all let me know y'all thoughts. But I do like all the ladies right now. Yes, I am feeling a way about Kenya not fully being a part, but she's there, but not really there. But I don't have an issue with nobody. I like all the ladies. All on.
Not, she gonna speak her mind, and she's a Taurus. I think, am I watching? So to answer the am I watching question, I am trying to watch right now. So the first episode, definitely watch. I'm really close friends with Shamea.
So there's that. Yeah, she is a Taurus. That's another thing. They both Tauruses. So I already should have already known how they was gonna click. Okay. I feel like most Tauruses are definitely, I mean, not to say any other signs are not, they the ones that I've come across truly be about their business a little too damn much sometimes, but they be about their business now, girl. I love to see it, honey. Love to see it. Now, what we're also about to get into, that is about to be Miss Porsha Williams. Okay, we definitely got to slide over here. We got to get into Porsha because Porsha's going to talk about the dynamic that she's having with Drew, how she's feeling about Drew. She's also going to be tapping into Shamea and what's going on with that friendship. And I want us to go ahead and get into that. So let us get back so that we can check out what's going on over here.
Drew, you know what, Drew? I don't know. Y'all know Drew. I think Drew. A lot of y'all didn't want Drew back on the show. So I think coming into this season, she had her ready-made storyline with Baby Daddy. And they knew I would react because who wouldn't? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody's doing something behind your back, like trying to film behind your back or whatever, you're going to have something to say. I mean, if I was filming with Ralph and she found out, she would be like, wait a minute, why didn't you just give me a heads up? So yes, if we're doing business together, she works for me. With Go Naked, I just expect a courtesy call that you're going to start a whole nother storyline of filming with Dennis. If you're going to do a photo shoot that's beyond content online.
So I do think that Porsha is right when she says that, if it was her, if she was about to film with Ralph, Drew would feel away. I definitely believe that. I believe that Drew would be in her feelings. How long would Drew make it an issue? I don't think she would make it that much of an issue. I think she'll be in her feelings slightly, but at the same time, I feel like Drew would be looking at it like, because it's Ralph and how Ralph shows up, she knows that Ralph is a person that will try to hurt her. So with that being said, I feel like Drew may be in her feelings about it, but then at the same time, she may be like, you know what, it's on brand. That's what he does. He does things to try to hurt me, to try to get at me. So I'm not surprised that he wants to film with you, She may feel a way that you're filming with somebody that would treat her in such a manner potentially, but I don't know how long Drew would make it an issue, because I feel like when it comes to the dynamic of Drew and Porsha, I feel like Drew never really wants an issue with Porsha at all. To me, I feel like that's one girl she don't want that with, like right? So I don't know, but y'all let me know if you feel like Portia's absolutely correct on that. And then my thing is also, I think Porsha just wanted it to come from Drew, even though she got the heads up already from Dennis. Dennis had already told her. I guess she just wanted Drew to reach out to her, but Drew was thinking she knew. Since she knew from Dennis, she figured, okay, then everything must be good because you already know about it. And Dennis already told you, so then we good. We cool. Because if you had an issue, once he told you, you would have hit me up like, what the hell is this I'm hearing about X, Y, and Z? So to Drew, she's probably thinking, okay, it must not be no issue. We're good to go. He's talked to my ex-husband or my soon-to-be ex-husband. He's talked to you. So we're good. So I do understand how Drew is seeing the situation to me. I do understand where Drew is coming from. And I slightly understand where Porsha is coming from. Right? She wants to know about her filming with the baby daddy. But then I'm kind of like, but why? Unless he is being used as your sole storyline, why is that an issue? And even if he is used as your sole storyline, I just don't see anything wrong with her filming with him unless you think they messing around. Because even Dennis got the same idea, which is why he said, you think I'm banging Drew? Because that's how it's coming off. You say you don't care, but that's how it's coming off. So when Drew sat up there and said at the table, like, oh, he's like a brother to me, Porsha said, brother? Brother? Yeah, that's because you do not believe that they are just simply working together. You do think they're messing around. And you held her in a higher regard if she is messing with your baby daddy, because y'all like this. And it's so crazy how you were just in this situation years ago, in a sense, because you went off and married that man, but you did quit the show. But that's a whole nother whatever. But y'all let me know your thoughts about that and how Porsha's feeling. I see somebody in the comments said, girl, bye. You literally took a whole girl's husband who you was filming with and building some sort of relationship with behind her back. Now you upset? Next. All right. She says, let's get more into what Porsha has to say.
If you're going to do a campaign shoot for Go Naked, you should tell the owner of the company.
I agree.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah, but you know.
That, I think Porsha has all rights to feel a way about that. To me, I feel like she should be pissed off. That's Porsha's business. She has control over that, right? I gave you a specific contract of what you need to do. You do not need to go beyond that contract, because if you go beyond that contract, I allow you to do this whole photo shoot, whatever. You might try and get back at me and be like, I owe you money or something for doing this photo shoot that I never even asked you to do. So I definitely understand Porsha's standpoint on the Go Naked situation.
Drew just does what she thinks she got to do to stay on the show. So I don't know. I'm not mad at her no more.
And you
because
don't?
it is what it is. It's like,
and you don't?
Okay, girl. You know what I mean? Like, I saw her the other day, and it's like, hey, girl, like, you look good. You look so pretty. And like, that's that. Drew is gonna be Drew. Yeah, Drew.
I don't like that. Drew does what she needs to do to stay on the show. Can I say that I feel like all of you housewives do that? All of you all do what you need to do to remain on this show. Because that, I mean, outside of you thinking they're messing around, the other piece is the storyline, right? And you said on the episode that, I feel like they're doing this to come against me. I'm afraid that it's gonna them filming together is gonna affect the growth of he and I. What are you talking about? It's not going to affect the growth. Y'all ain't got no, like, what are you talking about? So is it that you have created in your mind how you were going to utilize Dennis as a storyline that he was not fully aware of how he was going to be used, right? And that could potentially, I guess, affect your storyline if Drew is using him. So then that means with you not having Simon to use as a storyline, nor his things like the house, and even though you ain't supposed to use the car, you still are. So wouldn't that be, if you're going to, divert back to going to Dennis and using him, wouldn't that mean that you're doing whatever you need to do to stay on the show as well and honor the contract of what they gave you? Because you also said him not allowing you to film and this and that is affecting your job and your money, and that's where you have a problem. So, yeah, I feel like the statement she used can be applied to all of the ladies a part of the show.
Be Drew. Let Drew be Drew. Support her music. Shout out to Drew's new album. I think she got an album and a song out. Shout out to Shamea and her single. Y'all go pick up these girls' music and support them. Drew. You know what, Drew? I don't know. Y'all know Drew. I think Drew. A lot of y'all didn't want Drew back on the show.
But see, she might be right, and maybe some of her fans came to her and said, I'm sick of Drew, because I have seen comments where people have not liked Drew. I have no issue with Drew. I don't understand why people don't want her on the show. I don't want to hear anything about Drew lies. Do you know the shows that we watch? I don't think there's a single housewife that don't. I don't think there's a single reality star that doesn't lie. Okay, in all honesty. So, I mean, like, and if she is lying, but I don't really hear them catching her up in too many lies. I feel like maybe, what was that weight thing she had going on? I think they tried to call her out about the weight thing, and maybe it's been a few other things, but I don't care, because everybody at some point on these shows are caught up in something. So what else is it about her? Like, I mean, maybe y'all may feel like her storyline is stale. Well, hell, I feel like Cynthia didn't have that big of a storyline for many years, and yet they kept bringing her back. Okay? I can hear y'all not too much on Cynthia. Girl, I'm going to put a little piece on her today. Okay? But anywho, I'm just not understanding why people cannot stand Drew. I don't think that lady, I mean, I just feel like she's not too different than some of the other people that have, came across Real Housewives of Atlanta. But, to each his own, honey. But let us get into more, because Porsha does speak on Shamea, and I want us to hear exactly what she has to say.
Any comment on Kandi saying you don't like Shamea? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if Kandi said I didn't like Shamea.
I was just finna say, like, I don't think that lady said she didn't like her. I think Kandi said that y'all just faking the funk like y'all are cool when y'all know that y'all are not. That's it.
I think what Kandi said was, she doesn't believe we're as cool as we used to be. And yes, that's true. I mean, you know, it's when you come on the show and you have certain expectations, and then things seem to turn on you, without you knowing, you know, that can change any relationship. So, but I don't think Kandi said anything like that. Y'all don't be trying to stir stuff up now, because you know how y'all do. Y'all like free tea. Y'all got to watch the show.
Yeah. She says things begin to turn on you. Things turn on you. And I just want to know because it sounds to me how I'm taking this, and this may not be what she means, but how I'm taking it is that Shamea turns on her. And I just wonder in what way. You know, sometimes when you're a friend with a person and you're not often vocal about how they may have made you feel in the past, and then you're finally, well, Shamea says she's had these conversations with her before, but you're finally having a conversation, letting them know, like, yo, I don't like when you do this, like when you do that, yada, 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 whatever. People may feel like you changing up or something. They may feel a way about that because you've never said anything before. So that led them to believe that the behavior that they were exhibiting was okay. And it's not okay. Right? So I just wonder, how is she going to switch up? Is she going to start believing somebody else over her? I wonder, because even as the season came to a close and not too long ago, Shamea was still beefing out with Drew. Didn't you have an issue with Drew? So whatever issue you may have had with Drew, Shamea may have picked that issue up and they've still been beefing. So I'm trying to, in what way has she turned on you? I hope we're able to revisit this at a later time when everything, you know, let me say this time, we might have to revisit this at a later time when the fallout begins to happen. Okay? But let us keep going.
So why didn't I post Shamea's song? Dang, y'all, good grief. Well, she didn't send it to me to post. I guess Shamea sent it to everybody, but
BITCH. You thought we was gonna let you get off with that? Absolutely not. No, ma'am. Because listen, if you support your friends, they don't have to send you anything. Okay? I'll DM a friend and be like, hey, can you send me the link to that such and such so I can share it? Or you'll like, or I'll just snatch it off your page and share it my goddamn self. Matter of fact, it costs nothing to hit the repost button to your story, Porsha. It costs nothing to hit the repost button to your story, tag Shamea, and then put a few words telling people to go do it. In addition to that, she also could have just took a screenshot. All them screenshots you about got in your phone, you could have screenshotted it, reposted. You didn't want to do it because you don't F with her right now. I'm not reposting nothing. I'm not doing nothing. And then it's also giving, if I'm not getting a check off of it, I'm not putting it on my fucking page. Okay? Now, it could potentially be that. I don't know if she right or wrong with that. You got to get your money. But at the same time, like, girl, that's your best friend who's held it down. I'm sure she earned that. At least a repost on her song. At least a little piece. And, you know, I know some people about to go ahead and hit us with the jealousy. Portia's, you're jealous. You're jealousy. You're jealous. Very much so giving.
What's your name? I'm gonna call 911.
I called them for you already. You don't have to call. And I'm Tisha. Tesha.
What?
Tesha.
What do you mean, Tisha?
You asked my name. It's Tisha. Tesha.
I like your hair. I don't need your name.
You asked it.
Please don't do that. They blocked my flight. They blocked my flight. They blocked my flight. I don't know why. I
Not one tear.
What's your name? You had to talk to my husband. Right now, I need to go. I need to see my mom. I need to see my mom. But you, she said, I'm not gonna talk to anyone. Could you please talk to my husband? I'm kind. I'm a teacher. I'm a beautiful person. I'm happy to see my mom. I need to see my mom.
I understand that, but you haven't very high waist country, so I cannot sit you in the front. I'm sorry. Don't be so I don't know. It looks like it's short. I cannot talk to it.
Judgment.
Talk to the front.
Judgment, and you know.
That's not
Oh, jealousy. Jealousy.
Very much so, given.
You're jealous. You know what?
Yeah.
Wait.
Hold on. Get my good side. Hold on.
Screaming.
Jealousy. Jealousy. No human being. No human being. No human being. Only to see my mother.
So again, rebooking is next to D37 for rebooking.
I don't need your advice.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I can hear y'all saying already in the comments. Jealousy. You're jealous. Jealousy. Not so much as me, but I'm meaning Porsha and Shamea. Y'all might be hollering about some jealousy. Y'all might think that Miss Porsha is jealous of Shamea, but you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's more about jealousy or just pissed the hell off because she's not getting the support that she used to get from her.
But she didn't send it to me, so I didn't have it to post. Any comment on Kandi saying you don't like?
Okay, so that's what Porsha says. Porsha, you're being full of SHI in this moment. If you wanted to support Shamea, you could have did it. Okay, there would not have been a mountain high enough or a river wide enough to keep you from posting your friend's music in support of her. Okay, I do feel like that may have been a piece of nasty work, in my honest opinion. I do think it was a piece of nasty work. I think if the roles were reversed, I think Shamea would have definitely reposted you. Just as she's been trying to be, very kind about the conversation surrounding you guys in interviews and stuff, but very unfortunate situation. But I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about that. You all can leave your thoughts and comments down below on everything that we talked about regarding Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of course, I'm Jami, that's me. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M.